You be mumu. You think say they wise. You are a mumu man. What are you All right. Welcome to yet another video. I am your host, the corporate junkie, and I'm here to ensure that you avoid all the pitfalls in corporate America. Now, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And also, make sure you hit the notification bell. This way, you are notified each time I release a new video. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. The women to watch out for in corporate America. This is a highly anticipated and requested video. I received a lot of emails from people wanting me to express my opinion regarding the topic, especially with the fact that I've been in corporate America for over 20 years. And so I thought I would come in and just help you guys, especially the new ones coming in to the industry, on the pitfalls to watch out for, especially when it comes to certain type of personality as it relates to the type of women that are now in corporate America. As you know, and maybe you don't know this, there are more women now in the workforce than there are men. And take a look at this right here. Don't just take my word for it. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are now 109,000 more women working than men. It is also believed by experts that this trend will continue and gain more momentum as the number of working women increases while the number of men in the workforce decreases. So it is something that has been going on for a while now. If you have a job and if you've ever worked anywhere, you've seen this happen. You've seen that there are more women at your job than there are men. And it's the same with university campuses too. There are more women at the university campuses than there are men. And so maybe that's the correlation here. And so the workforce is starting to look like the university campuses. And so I'm here to help you understand the personality that you need to watch out for, especially the type of women that you need to watch out for. These particular women can ruin your career if you don't know how to navigate through them or how to engage them. Without further ado, let's get into this because there's a lot that I want to cover. There's a lot that I think you will learn from this. It is a very important thing for every man, especially a black man, to know this. Because why is it important for you to avoid these women at all cost? Because if your goal is to advance at your job, you want to really be careful of these women. If your goal is to excel in what you're doing, you want to be very careful with these women. If your goal is to one day run a department or get promoted or be recognized, whatever that is, we all have those goals in corporate America. You want to really be very careful when you relate with these women. And so these women, I carefully picked these particular women based on my years of experience of really studying different personality, and also from what I've seen others fall victims to, right? I've seen a lot of men fall victims to these women. And so in order for you not to be one of those men, I thought it would be great for me to just do a video so that way you know, and you can thank me later. Leave a comment, and let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if any of these women that I go over today in this video are the ones you work with. Let me know if you have one or two or even all of them at your job. Leave me a comment. Send me an email. Let me know this. Also, like and share this video so that others like you can see it. I think it's a very important video for a lot of men to really see and really be aware of. And if you're a black man, hey, this is even more important for you to really know this, because not too many of us are represented in corporate America. So you want to certainly be sure that you are knowing who your allies are, people you need to stay away from, people you need to be watchful of, and just kind of be aware of certain things, especially at your job. It makes you much more productive. It makes your advancing up the corporate ladder even much more certain once you are able to really see the pitfalls and really avoid those things. Okay, so let's get into it. The first one here is that I think that people should stay away from is the soft-spoken Lindsay. The soft-spoken Lindsay. These particular women are usually very, very attractive. They are usually white women, very attractive. They're blonde, mostly blonde. They have a sense of energy about them. They really attract people to them. When you hear them speak, when you hear them in the conference room, department meetings, they have a way of really engaging you in conversation. They know their shit. They are very, very, they can articulate their words. They are able to really connect their points and really provide insight to certain things that's needed for a particular project. And so many people really, really fall for these types. Even senior management and execs know this particular one. They are the ones that if you were in a meeting, whether it's a conference meeting, a virtual meeting, or a face-to-face meeting, a lot of execs will make reference to them. They would say, hey, per Lindsay's point, or take a look at Michelle and let's see what Michelle has about this. They usually make references to these types. So they're very, very smart. They're very quiet. They don't talk much except when they're presenting or making suggestion, or they feel the need to. So they have that very, very laid back demeanor. So you see them and you just love to be around them because they just give you that calm type of demeanor. They make you want to tell them anything. Don't. Okay? Don't tell them anything, especially things that relates to your personal life, things that relate to your personal situation. Don't talk about your wife. Don't talk about your girlfriend. Don't talk about the date you just had. Don't talk about anything. These particular ones are what you call your feedback police. They will give feedback about you to your boss. They'll go back and talk about that conversation you just had at lunch, that you thought that you both were just getting to know each other, that you both were just relaxing and learning about each other and all of that stuff. Yeah, they'll make you think that they are with the program. They'll make you think that they're with it. But what they'll do is they'll go behind your back and they'll talk to your boss about it. They'll say, hey, I was a little concerned about the conversation I just had with Rodney, and he seemed to be very detached. You may want to have a talk with him. Or they'll say stuff like, I was talking with Rodney at lunch today, and he seems like he's checked out. And so you thinking that you were just sharing your thought with a colleague, and you guys are just having a good get to know each other moment and stuff like that, and you think she's so cool. Yeah. And then later on, you find out from your boss in a one-on-one session about your conversation with Lindsay. She'll throw you under the bus. These particular ones only care about two things. They care about power and prestige. They care about how they look to the world, how they're perceived to the world, and also wanting to rise to the top. These particular ones don't care about you. They don't care about you. It's all about them. It's all about what they can get, who they can screw over, and who they can use to get to the top. These particular ones have pulled men, great men, men of power and substance have fallen for this type. And you can see why. You can see why people will fall for her. Because who doesn't like a person that's really calm to talk with? Who doesn't like that? Non-intrusive, non-combative. We all like that type. So they use that to their advantage. The soft-spoken Lindsays use that to their advantage. They're the ones that hear everything. Because people tell them everything. They hear everything. They're in the office, typing away, and they can hear what's going on here, right? And so these types, you think that they are not aware, but they are so aware of everything around them. And more importantly, people come to them and talk about things. People like you. They come and talk to them about other employees, situations, things that are bothering them. So they know a lot of things going on. And they keep it inside. They keep it hidden. They keep it inside. And they use that when they need to use that. These ones are dangerous, right? They are dangerous when it comes to the type of personality that you need to stay clear of. So what do you do when you're around this type of personality? Be professional. Be professional. Only engage with things that are related to the job. Only engage with things, or only engage them on things that only relate to the work. So if you happen to be in an event that you traveled out of town and you both have to work together because you're a sales consultant and she's a sales consultant, and you both have to have events outside of your location in a different city, and you probably have to spend 5 days at the event, and usually after the event you go out for a drink, you have a leisure time, all of that stuff. Do not lose your mind. She'll engage you too. She'll talk about her husband, she'll talk about all this crazy stuff, and you're thinking, oh man, she's opening up, let me open up to her too. Don't. Because guess what? When she starts giving feedback about you, people will believe her over you because she's likable. People like Lindsay. People like her. She's likable. She's impressive. She's beautiful. She's attractive. Everybody likes Lindsay. These ones usually tend to advance quickly at your job because it's all about likability. To get promoted in corporate America, it's all about likability. It's all about being relatable. So these types tend to really move up quickly in the corporate ladder. And so what they say usually holds a lot of water. So when they start saying stuff about you, believe me, your senior vice president will take that word literally. When she gives feedback about you, I've seen these types that are in management level position, and they have more respect than some directors. I've worked with a type like this, that when they're in meetings with directors, and they're just senior managers, the director tend to really, I see them quiver when they're in the room with this type, because they know the influence that they possess. They know the type of influence, impact they make at their job. People want to hear them talk. People want to be around them. People want to have them in meetings. They are usually inserted in a lot of the programs that go on at your job. You know who I'm talking about. You may have the Lindsays at your job. Maybe she's called, Stephanie. Maybe she's called Brittany. I don't know. But the personality type is the same. They're usually blonde, very attractive, very soft-spoken. They're very engaging. They're the type to tell you, come into my office. Come talk to me. Their office door is always open. Why is that though? Because they hear everything. They want you to come in. But they're also vultures. They'll stab you in the back. These ones are like a praying mantis. The praying mantis? The ones that, once you've really had sex with them, they just bite your head off. That type. They're scorpions. They'll stab you in the back. And so don't think that these type, the soft-spoken Lindsays, are your friends. So when you are around them, the way to really navigate through these people is be professional. Be professional at your job. Only discuss things related to the job. Even when she's sharing her stuff, don't overshare. Don't overshare. Be engaging, be personable, and make sure that you are aware. You are aware of your surrounding and who you're dealing with. Because when you start sharing too much, especially if you start talking about somebody else, she can do that. Okay? She can talk about the SVP, the senior vice president. She can make jokes about it. She can say, "Oh, so, I teach him everything. I know everything more than he does. I've been working with him." And you guys will have a huge ha 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 laugh about it. She can do that. And even if it gets back to the senior vice president, "Hey, Lindsay was talking about you, to, Paul," he will like, it's Lindsay, I know. He might even add into the joke, because they've earned the trust of these people. You've not. You've not. You are new to this. You've not. Or maybe you've been there 2 years. You've not. And so she'll pull you in. She'll pull you in. She'll get you comfortable enough. And she'll get you selling your soul, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. So watch out for these ones. These are your feedback police officers. They love to give feedback. They love to complain about other people. They're always watching. They're always watching. And nothing is quite right. They have something to say about something. They have something to say about you. So you're giving your presentation and she's just quiet and she's nodding. Yeah. Those are the types. She's not going to be the one to push back at your presentation or your suggestion. She'll just give the feedback to your manager. And that one is going to do her dirty dealings. That one is going to give that feedback. And those feedback are usually very, very vicious. And so it really eats at you. Feedback are good, but when you start getting them a lot, and these are the ones that they don't care how many feedback they send you, they'll give you as many. And the more feedback you start getting a lot, it stunts your growth. It will stunt your growth. Because when people start giving you so many feedback regarding what you're doing, which comes as a result of Lindsay, that seem to have something to say about everything you do, right? People start having perception about you. People start to have some type of perception, and they can take those feedback negatively. They can start saying things like, "Oh, I don't think, Tyrone is fitting quite well here. I don't think he is. I don't think, Mark is fitting quite well here. Or I don't think, James is fitting quite well here. I don't know." Because she just seemed to have the ears of everybody and she just talk about you. So be professional. Keep it simple. Keep it basic. Always remember where you are. Always remember who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with this type, the soft-spoken Lindsays, don't fall for the attraction. Don't fall for that. Don't let her beauty and her looks and her, presence cause you to lose your mind. Think about what's in front of you. Think about where you are. You are at work. Think about who you're speaking with. If you're speaking with a Lindsay who's a peer, or if you're speaking with one who's a director or someone who's above you, always remember that. Okay? That even though you guys may be peers, she's got a leg up on you, right? Because she knows people at the job you don't. She's got relationships you don't. She's got trust you don't. She's got people to believe her you don't. And so remember that when you're dealing with these types, you've got to keep it professional. You've got to keep it professional because you certainly do not want these types to have someone in HR open up a file on you. These are the types that would even flirt with you. They would flirt with you. Again, back to my scenario of the event. You guys are at the event, you're drinking, it's 5 p.m., it's a long day. You killed it. You guys killed it at that event. That event was awesome. Your presentation was stellar. Her presentation was stellar. Man, you guys killed it. And you guys are talking about this, right? You're laughing. Maybe it's you and her. Maybe it's you and her and a couple of other ones. And you guys are just talking and you're going over the day. You're just having a great time. And then maybe it's you and her left at the table, right? And she starts flirting with you. She starts saying, I really like and I really enjoy working with you. I've really never met anyone in a long time in that position. The last guy or the last girl that worked in that position was just not really fun. She starts to really get into your ears and tell you stuff that you're like, oh man, this is cool stuff. And you start saying stuff like, I enjoy working with you too. And you start adding a little extra. Yeah, you're really a cool person. I can see me hanging out with you, and you start going there. The next day you'll find out from HR that you engage in an unsolicited conversation, unwarranted conversation. And you're saying, oh my God, I thought we both were with it. No, right? And so that is something that will kill your career. It will kill your career. So I'm telling you right now, stay away from these types. Don't let their soft-spoken nature fool you, because trust me, they've taken down a lot of people. They've taken down a lot of men. And so don't let that fool you. Always make sure you're sharp, you're on your game, you are alert, you're aware, you're professional, you're engaging. Don't be rude. You don't have to be rude with this type. Because again, if you are, they'll just give feedback on you. And that's not good. So be pleasant. Meet them at their own game. They're pleasant, be pleasant. They share too much, you share less. You know what I'm saying? Instead of go with the personal thing, instead of talk about their personal life, you keep it professional. Please, don't walk her to her room. Okay? Don't do that. If you guys are out at an event and you guys are hanging out afterwards at the bar, at the hotel, and it's time to go to your room, you go to your room and let her go to her room. She's a big girl. She can handle it. She doesn't need you to walk her to her room or anything like that. You go to your room and get ready for the next day. Because if you don't do that, right? If you don't walk away and go to your room and resist that urge, you're going to hear about it when you get back. When you get back, you're going to hear about it. And not just HR. Everyone is going to know. And so don't do it. All right? So stay away from these ones as it relates to you thinking about something much more than it is. These ones are just going to break you. As I mentioned, they only care about two things: power and prestige. They care about how they look, and they also care about authority, where they want to be. They want to get to the top. These ones are only attracted to powerful positions. Powerful positions. They care about only powerful positions. And so if someone is in a powerful position, they will get close to that person. They will get close to that person because they want to be there. They want to look good. So they know that just being close to you or just being seen with you helps their career. These are career-minded people. It's all about them. They're very individualistic. They don't care about the herd. They don't care about the collective. They don't care about all of that. They'll do what it takes to get them in those positions. So if what it takes is for us to all work together as a collective so we can advance this forward so they can in turn gain a benefit out of it, that's Lindsay. That's this type, right? So be watchful of them, and you've been warned. And so leave me a comment if you have someone like that that works at your job. Let me know. Again, she could be called something totally different at your job, but their personality types and style are usually the same. Okay, so be watchful. All right, the high energy Roslyn. The high energy Roslyn. Now, we all know this type, or you may know this type at your job already. They're usually the type that you hear them coming from a mile away, loud. You know, the type in the morning, early in the morning, where everyone is just walking in, and it's still early. It's like 8:30, 9-ish, you know, and you see her, hi, good morning, with a very high pitch. You know those type that have a really high pitch. Hi, good morning. How you doing? Is everything okay? You know, they try to be they overly professional. You know, very overly professional. When they walk down the hallway, you just know they're coming because these types are usually overweight. You know, short haircut, overweight, and so when they walk, you just hear them coming. You know, it's like a drill sergeant just coming down the hallway. You know, they're highly expressive. Their personality type is highly, highly expressive, and they're the life of the party. Okay, these are the types that when you have a job fair, a career fair, they send these ones to those job functions. There's an event going on, these ones are sent. There's an employee engagement activity going on at the job, these ones are the ones that sent. Okay, because they're very enthusiastic. They just know how to energize people. People love to be around them, right? They love their energy because they just, oh, come on, you can do it. All right, you know, everything is an all right. Let's go. Come on, get it together. You know, those types. The high energy Roslyn, you know. So you'll find them a lot in like mid-level management positions. Because they work a lot with frontline employees, so they put them in those positions just because of their energy, and so they closely work with frontline employees just because they can help to, you know, champion and engage those people. You know, so everything is oh my goodness, don't, oh come on, don't worry about that. Let's move, let's shake, let's get it together. That type. They'll wear you out. These ones will wear you out because they think everything is all up and up. They think everything is, oh my God, don't worry about it. So here's the problem with these ones. These are the ones that will push back at you a lot in department meetings, especially if you're black. The high energy Roslyn are not a friend to black people. Their loyalty is to their white counterpart. These ones want to look good to white people. So when you are in meetings with these ones, you tend to see these ones challenge or argue with black counterparts, whether they're male or female. These ones will, but they will never challenge Brittany. They'll never challenge Kim. They'll never challenge, you know, Michelle. Those ones who are white, because they want to look good. These are the gatekeepers of white people, right? So the white people, the white employees love to have her around because they know this. They know that we can keep her at bay. We can put her in this position, right? And she can be a champion for our cause and really help to mobilize. They have a function, trust me. She can help to mobilize the troop. And she can always, you know, she's a policeman. She's a policeman. These ones are more of an enemy to you, black man, than Stephanie or Lindsay. These ones, the high energy Roslyn, you thinking, oh, they're so energetic, all of that. You thinking, oh, because she's kinfolk, that I can relate with her because she's black, I'm black. We both going through the struggle. Nah, man, she doesn't see you as one of she's your biggest competitor at the job. And you may not even be in the same position with her. You may not even be at the same level with her. You may be higher than her. And she's trying to get you down. She's trying to take you down, man. These ones are always looking out for their white counterpart. Their white counterpart can do no wrong when it comes to the job, when they're in the building. Now, when they go home, they'll talk about their white counterparts and they'll use the racist cards and play the racist card and all of that all day. They'll do that. But when they get to work, oh my God, all bets are off. The white people are her friends. They love the white employees, her white bosses. These ones hate you. You are a competitor. You are an enemy. She sees your presence there as a threat if you're a black man or a black woman. She sees your presence there as a threat. She wants to be the only one in that position. She wants to be the only one representing the black race at that job. She doesn't want two of you. So when you see this type, or if you work with this type, the high energy Roslyn, okay, be very careful. Relate with her like you would relate with any of your white coworkers. Okay, don't fall for the hokey doke. Don't fall for the high energy. Okay, be professional, be respectful, work with her, but don't think that because you both share the same skin color and you both are black, that somehow you can relate on a different level. She ain't trying to relate with you. As a matter of fact, she's wanting you to say something stupid and she'll go ahead and just run off. She'll talk about you. This particular one will not even go to your direct manager. She'll go all the way to the top. She wants to make sure she gets you out of there. She's not even just going to go to your direct report. She'll go above you. HR. Right? Because they're usually very, very angry inside. That's why they overcompensate. They're overly compensating for what's internal. They're not happy inside. They don't like themselves because, as I mentioned, they're usually overweight. They're usually not attractive. So not too many people pay them attention in terms of attraction. And so they tend to overcompensate with their personality. They're larger than personality type. So they'll be very, very loud and very animated, all of that stuff. So those are these ones right here. And so if you don't know this and you're not aware of this, you would misread that to be, oh, she's cool people. She's a cool chick. Yeah, she's really cool though, right? Cool enough to get your butt out of there. So the way to deal with this, as I mentioned earlier, is be professional. If you're at an event that you both are sponsoring, be energetic because that's your job. Your job is to be energetic. Your job, if you work together, is to rally the troops. And even if you work above her, your job also is to inspire her, right? You're a manager above her. Your job is to lead her, to inspire her. Your job is not to put her down. Your job is not to, confide in her. Be careful. Okay? When she pushes back at you in a meeting, be calm. Take it. Don't worry about it. Express your viewpoints. But just know that if there are 10 people in that meeting, in that conference room, she is going to be the loudest. She is going to be your agitator. She is going to be the one that's going to push back more at you than anyone else in the room. And what happens with this type also is that because she's so aggressive in her personality, and she's such a very larger than life in terms of her expressive nature, many of the people in the room tend to fall back. So you're not going to get anyone that's going to push back at her pushback, right? So they'll just, yeah. Now they may go back and say, oh, that was a little too aggressive from, Roslyn, and I think Roslyn was a little too pushy on that. But they're not going to say that at the meeting. They're not going to say that, right? And so you, who is black male, and she's pushing back at you, you both are going at it. Okay? And so when you are working in an environment where there are more women, 5-1, the odds are against you. They'll look at you as not being a team player, as being combative, because she's going to gain more sympathy from her coworkers, from the environment, even though you both have valid points, even though your point is much more valid than her. But if they see you both going back and forth, and they see you really being pushy, because you just really got to put this person and tell her about herself, because she's done it a couple of times and you just no, I'm not going to let her do it this time. And that particular meeting happens to be the meeting that you just going to, she pushes back, you push back, she pushes back, you push back, and you both are just doing this back and forth dance. It looks bad on you. It looks bad on you. So let her be her. Let her be ugly. Let her be that way. There's a ceiling for these types, right? There's a ceiling for these types. They don't make it past mid-level management position. You don't find too many of these in director level role, because in addition to her expressive and fun and high energetic personality, these ones don't take feedback very well. They don't. They tend to really push back at feedback because they feel like their personality should make up for all of that stuff. And so here you come, her boss, and they don't like female bosses, by the way. But you're giving her feedback, she'll have a facial expression. She'll have a facial expression to your feedback. They don't take feedback very well. And those are things that are required for promotion. Those are things that people look at when they want to move you up to a different level, is your ability to be able to take feedback. So they don't take to feedback very well. You tend to see these ones in collections. They work in collections. They put them there because they have this very, very high energy. You tend to see them in sales, so they'll work there. Those are positions that, depending on the type of position, they're like $55,000, $60,000 a year. But they'll go around talking about, I'm a boss chick. This is the one. We're a boss chick. We are here. We're killing it. We're slaying it here. We're slaying it in the game. Yeah, your high energy Roslyn. So you have to be very careful with this. Don't misread the fact that you both are black, that she's an ally. She's not your ally. She's more of your enemy than anyone else. Don't think that the fact that you're female also, that she's an ally. She bites you in the back. So this is not just for men here. This is also for women. If you're a black woman and you work with this type, trust me, she's trying to get you out of there. She's a gatekeeper. They know this. They keep her there because she is a gatekeeper for the white co-workers. She loves the white co-workers. She wants to impress them. She cares about what they think. She cares about how they perceive her. She cares about those white counterparts liking her. She wants to be liked. She wants to be accepted. She wants to be approved. All of that. And so you coming over and you're black equally with her, she ain't having that. She's trying to get you out of there. Okay? So be careful with this. Don't share too much. Don't even go out to lunch with her. If you happen to run into her at the break room, engage, converse with her. But don't do the, oh, let's all go out to have lunch type of thing with her. Don't do that, because she ain't trying to do all of that. Okay? All she wants to do is get you out of there. And she's waiting for when you slip up. And you will slip up if you're not careful and if you're not aware of what I'm telling you right now. And you're going to find out that she'll go all the way to the top, all the way to the top to get you out of there. And you'll be wondering, why did one of mine do that to me? Yeah, man. Yeah, one of your own. So, okay, so be very, very careful with the high energy Roslyn. And don't fall for that also. And just be watchful. Keep it professional, keep it basic. Um, and understand that she is there um, as a competitor. She's your competitor. She's your competition. So be careful with these, because you have a better chance of moving higher in your role. These ones these particular ones quickly gained a horrible reputation at your jobs. These are the ones that you find that they're in the same level positions for years, right? For years to come. And they haven't moved up because they keep them there. Okay, these are the ones that stay at those positions and they don't move up. Whatever positions that is, whether it is an assistant manager, if they finally get to that position, a manager, a sales manager, you know, or a collection manager, because that's where you tend to see these ones. They would be in that position for years. And so understand that you, as a black man who is energetic, you have a lot to bring to the table, and you are much more likely to get promoted than her. Okay, so just remember that. All right. Okay, so that's high energy Roslyn. Okay, so let's talk about someone else. Let's go down here because I have a lot for you guys, and hopefully this is starting to make sense. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have someone like this. The high energy Roslyn, the soft spoken Lindsay. Let me know, because I guarantee you probably have someone like that at your job, or have worked with someone like that in the past. And so leave me a comment. Let me know who those ones are at your job without naming them, without giving me their names, or just let me know, because I like to hear from you guys. Okay. Um, Now let's talk about Big Booty Keisha. Let's talk about Big Booty Keisha. Uh-huh. She is nice. Nice. I mean, look at her. Look at her. She is nice. Okay? These types are usually very voluptuous, very attractive black females. They're the type to come to work with very tight-fitted clothing. Tight-fitted clothing. They have no sense of awareness about how they're perceived. They are so used to having people look at them that they forget that they are at work, right? And so they dress like that. These particular ones are the type that you would see in the break room, right? So these particular ones, they are always being stared at by everyone. They walk down the hallway and people are just like, wow, look at that. I mean, look at her. Okay. So you'll find these ones in call center positions. They usually work behind the desk over the phone. They're not in front of clients. They're not in client facing position, customer facing positions, because no company in their right mind will put this ones in front of customers. Not unless the job has something to do with that. Okay. Not unless they work for, they're bartenders, where those positions really need guys to spend money, in those type of atmospheres, but not in professional settings. These ones are put behind a desk. They're not in front of any position that is of importance because of their appearance, because they're very, very voluptuous, and they're distracting. They're very distracting. I mean, imagine you at a conference and you are trying to sell software parts to like partners. Imagine IBM is right there, or Dell, or Cisco, and this one is giving presentation, looking like that. Or you are in a boardroom, okay, with all the execs. You have the C-level officials or the C-level executives right there. You have the directors right there. You have the top managers right there. And this one has to give a presentation where most times you have to look at a screen to give a presentation. She turns around. Huh? What do you think people in there are doing? I mean, even the white old guy, even the white old guy, the one that only date white women, he's in there and he's like the chief operating officer. I can't even say this with a straight face. And he's over there leaned back like this. And he's watching this person giving a presentation. And all the men in the room are just like this. And she's over there. You just imagine this for a second. She's over there trying to really talk about data analysis, projections, what our future growth. She's giving earnings report. That type of, and she's over there talking. And the moment she turns around, people are like, No one is listening to this. And then the females in the room are so upset. They're mad. They're pissed off. Right? Because it's distracting. It is distracting. So these types don't get promoted. They're in those positions, those very junior level positions. They don't promote these type. And so here you come, Mr. Sales Manager, Mr. Senior Manager of Operations. Here you come, right? You've been introduced to everyone at work. They're taking you around. They're introducing you to everyone at work. They're showing you where your office is at. They're showing you where the conference room is. They're showing you where the fax machines are, the copy room is. You're getting a tour of the company. And who comes walking by in the hallway? Big Booty Keisha. And so your boss says, "Hey, Keisha, let me introduce you to Rodney." And she comes over. She does one of these. "Rodney? Oh, okay." She does one of that. "Okay. Well, nice to meet you, though." Right. She thinks she's at the club where she's getting introduced to some guy that wants to smash her. Because to her, every guy wants to have sex with her. So she doesn't know how to conduct herself. She doesn't know how to really present a good impression. When many in that scenario would have said, "Hey, oh, nice to meet you, Rodney. Listen, you've joined a great company, and if you need anything, please let me know. Okay, thank you," and keep it moving. She hasn't learned those communication skills that most people learn in that position. So she does one of these, and she walks away. And you right? Because you're so stupid. And if you're the type of guy, you're thinking about her. You're thinking about that big old booty. And in your mind, throughout the entire rest of the tour, you're thinking about her. You're thinking about Big Booty Keisha. And you can't wait for the tour to be over so you can go find her. So you can go do one of these. You know? You lurking. You're asking questions. You can't wait. And then when you do find her, because she is right there at the coffee machine, she's getting an espresso, and you lean next to her and you're trying to get yours, or you're pretending to get her yours, and she's one of these. She's doing one of these. You know, shaking the sugar. Why? She's making all that noise because she wants you to notice her again. And so you say, hey, Keisha, hi. Listen, it was really nice meeting you. And I hope that if I have any questions, you're someone I can lean on, And she's like, sure, please, anytime. And she walks away and you're like, damn. And you're looking, and then there comes a coworker that just spotted you looking at her there. Right? On your first day. Okay? Because you're just stupid. You're being stupid. You forget the fact that your job, this job that you got, that took you 5 interviews over the span of 3 months. You forget that. You're thinking about Keisha. You're thinking about engaging her. You can't wait to get her number. You can't wait to engage her again. Your heart is skipping. You're skipping beats. Okay? Your pants are burning. Because she just does that to you. And you go to your office and the whole time you're just thinking about her. And every opportunity to engage her. So she walks by your office, you have to talk to her. She walks by, you see her in the hallway, you got to engage her. You forget where you are. And so she'll let you do it. She'll let you do it because you know why? She knows she's not going anywhere. She wants someone like you to like her because that validates her. Right? And so your stupid ass takes her out and eventually you smash it. Okay? You think you scored. You think you've done something great. You're so stupid. You know what she does? She talks about you. She goes and tells everybody, I had sex with him. What? Yeah. We smashed. And they start having those conversations. And here goes your perception. What do you think that does to you, to your perception? What do you think that does to your perception? Because now everyone in the office knows that you're having sex with Keisha. That's not good. That's not good because once HR or your management team learns of this, the perception that has about you is that you're careless, you're irresponsible, you're simple-minded, you're not ready for that position. To allow yourself do that, to jeopardize your whole reputation and put the company at risk by doing something like that. So many companies will let you go because you've caused some kind of distraction, an unhealthy environment. And HR has rules against this, right? So bosses don't fraternize with anyone that is lower level or in lower positions than them. They almost frown also with people within the same level dating. Some companies do, but then some other companies are relaxed with that. But that's about it. Or certainly not in your position, someone at your level, having sex with someone lower level than you because it's seen as a power play. Okay, that's not good. That's jeopardizing the company's reputation, not to mention your reputation and your job. And so most companies would just not want to be bothered with that. They'll just cut you off. They'll just fire you, just let you go. Okay, and if the situation doesn't warrant you getting fired, maybe it's not a sexual harassment thing. Maybe let's just say it doesn't go that far. Okay, you guys have sex, but they learned of it. They learned that you are having sex with your coworker. That is what stunts your growth. You're done. You're done. You're not going to get promoted. So you can forget about your career ambition and your career goals. You can forget about that 5-year plan that you had. You can forget about it. It's not going to happen. because no one wants to promote someone that is that irresponsible. No one wants to give and entrust opportunities like that to someone that is that irresponsible. So if you're that irresponsible to jeopardize your career over a piece of ass, you're not worth it. I wouldn't even promote you. Okay? I wouldn't even promote you. The moment I learn of something like that you are doing stuff like that, I will not promote you. And if I hear that you are seeking a promotion, you best believe that I'm going to question it. Okay? Many coworkers do that. And so that's how your reputation moves around the company. So you don't want to be that person. If that is the perception about you, that is horrible perception. You're not going to get promoted. So you can forget about your career goals and moving up the corporate ladder and all of that good stuff. You can forget that. You can kiss that goodbye because you're willing to throw it away for a piece of ass. And so have at it. Right? And so when you see this type, make sure you stay away from her. Stay away from any personal engagement. Stay away from anything inappropriate. Okay? Most guys, when they see her work, they do one of these. They just stare and they keep it moving. Okay? They do that, especially the ones that have a career path. They have a goal in mind. They're not letting that stand in their way. That is cheap. That is cheap. What is in front of you is not easily attained. Not everyone can get that position. Not everyone can move up. Not everyone can be employed at that company. Right? And so you want to be focused. You want to engage her professionally. You want to look her straight in the eye. She's in your office. You want to let her know that you're not with the program. That you're not the one. So when there's a feedback that needs to be given to her, you want to give her that feedback. You want to be critical if it needs, and you want to compliment her appropriately. Okay? Not compliment her looks, compliment her regarding the job. If she does a great job, say, great job, well done. Good job, Keisha. And keep it moving. Nothing inappropriate. Stay professional. Okay? Stay professional. Don't ask her for her number. Don't meet her after work. Don't engage her. Don't do none of that nonsense. Stay professional. Because that's the only way, right, you can deal with that type of personality. There are many like her. There's 1,000 of her. There's 1,000,000 of her. You find out on a Friday night, Saturday night, any other night. You don't have to shit where you eat. Don't do that. It's not worth it. Okay? And many times, you may not even be aware that once you slip up like that, there's a perception being gathered about you. So when you apply for that position and you go for that new position after you've been with the company 2 years, and you're telling your manager or your boss, like, I'm really trying to apply for this position because, most companies require that you talk to your manager about any position that you're trying to apply. Not because they're going to deter you from it, but just so they can advise you. And you may hear things like, I would wait. When you start hearing that, there's a perception about you. When you start hearing your boss, who values you, right? If you're so lucky to get one of those bosses that values you a lot because your one-on-one with them is great, and she starts telling you or he starts telling you, I'll wait. Don't do that yet. It's not because they're trying to really kind of hinder your growth. It's because they've heard something. They know there's a perception about you that you don't know. And most people in corporate America don't talk. Most people are not going to go out of their way and tell you what they've heard about you. Some will, but a lot of people will not. They don't want to insert themselves in that. They don't want to insert themselves in that type of situation. They'll rather just stay away from it. Let you fall on your sword. One less person I got to deal with. And keep it moving. And so you are only responsible for you. You only have to look out for you. Sad as it is, it's a really doggy dog world. And so you want to stay away from that type of personality or that type of person. Keep it professional, okay? Keep it work related. Keep your eyes on the prize, your eyes on the goal, which is to move up the corporate ladder, to impress your bosses, to do a great job. That's it. And go home. Go home. That's it. Go back to your girlfriend, go back to your wife, go back to your friends that are outside of the job. Do it. And you'll find that you'll have a healthy career. Because you'll move up with that type of attitude. And someone like her will still remain there. Okay? Okay. Next one is passive staff. Okay, so we know passive staff. So passive staff is usually a white girl that's very smart. They usually are the SMEs at the job, subject matter expert. And they tend to really know the ins and outs of the company. They are usually in IT. You would find those in IT. You'll find them as trainers. They help to train. So they are usually involved in a mass of people. So where it involves really working with a large collective of people, that's where you'll find them. They tend to have coffee all the time because they're so energetic. They're always on the move. They dress down. They don't dress up. So you find them in jeans jacket, jeans pants, boyish kind of look. They're tomboys, if you will. Those are your passive staff. They're very passive because they're not the type that will kick the wheels running. They're order takers. They'll take orders. They're not the type to really kind of get the wheels running. They don't implement things. They just take orders. That's who they are. They're loyal to the company. And that being said, is they will also throw you under the bus. And they work against men and women. So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. When you come across this type, just know that you're fair game. Okay? Don't speak about anything that's not related to work. Don't confide in her. Don't say, hey, would you like to go catch this show one time? Don't none of that. Don't invite her outside of the office. Don't do none of that. Okay? Even when you're talking about leisure things that are, fun stuff to talk about, be very careful and keep it professional. Because she'll run and tell everyone. She'll talk to your manager. These are the type that cry so easily, right? They cry. They're so sensitive. They're so passionate. Very sensitive. They'll cry. So you want to be very careful also when you're giving feedback to these ones because they'll cry on you. And you start feeling sorry. You feel so sorry that you can't get out the rest of your feedback. They're very, very, very difficult in terms of that sense to manage. But they're great workers. They're great workers. They do the job. You can entrust things into their hands and they'll do it. They'll do it. But at the same time, they are hard to please because they require so much of your time. They're so entitled. They feel like they give so much and they want you to just jump off the hook to appease them. So you want to be very careful with this, especially if you're in management role and you are leading people. You have people and she's on your team. Be careful with her because she will get you jammed up. You have a perception on you that you're not going to shake off. Okay? And her voice, because she's so sweet, she's so knowledgeable, that her voice and her opinion weighs a lot. So just be careful with that when you see that one, okay? All right, the chatty Kiana. You know, these type of girls or women in the workplace are the ones that talk too much. They're the ones that would introduce themselves to you. They don't need no introductions from someone else. They'll walk up to you. They're like, "Oh, are you the new guy? Oh my God." You know, "Oh my God, welcome." And they chatty and they will talk about everything, mostly negative, right? They will talk about negative things within the company. Oh, how the PTO schedule was horrible. So here you are, first day, and she walks into your office and she knocks at your door. She's like, "Hi, I'm Kiana. And I just wanted to say welcome to the company." And she's always very high pitched, right? She talks too much. She's high pitched. And so you're like, "Hi, how are you doing?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm good." She's like, "Okay." And you ask her questions like, "Oh, so how long have you worked here?" And she's like, "Oh, too long." And she rolls her eyes and she tells you, "Oh my God, too long." And those are usually gestures of someone that is not happy with their job. And she's like, "Oh my goodness, oh yeah, they have us now on a new dress code and they have us now on a new schedule and it's just not working out." And she goes on and on and on and on and on. Right? And she starts talking about such and how such and such didn't approve her PTO or her MTO. And you're like, "Oh, that's crazy." That's what you respond to. You're like, "Oh my God, that's crazy." And you're engaging with this type of nonsense conversation, negative, forgetting where you are, forgetting that the walls are thin in corporate America. And so guess who's in the other room hearing this? Soft-spoken Lindsay. You remember that? Remember her? Yeah, because her door is always open. And so she's hearing this conversation between you and Kiana. And she runs or she calls, and she calls your boss. She calls your manager. She calls who you're reporting to. And she says, "You know what? I just overheard a conversation between Rodney and Kiana, and I think you ought to speak to him about it. He needs to really be careful about who he aligns himself to." And she gives that type of feedback. And so you over here chatting away with Kiana and say, "Oh yeah, you think you're being friendly and being impressionable and all of that stuff." And then when you have your first one-on-one with your boss, and he or she's asking you, "So how's it going here?" And you like, "Oh, it's going great. Everyone is awesome." All the, and you're talking about how you're so excited and you're very appreciative of the position and all of that good stuff. And then she goes in and tells you, "Hey, um, I heard something and I just wanted to bring it to you so you're aware." Right? And at that moment, it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up. Right? So you find out at that moment that you fucked up. You've now begun a negative perception about you. And that is something you don't want to have, especially early on in your career. So be careful when you engage this type. Don't fall or engage with negative conversations with her. Keep it short, keep it simple. Okay? It's okay for you to cut her off and say, "Hey, Kiana, listen, I do have a meeting I have to run to, but let's talk about this later on." And just bolt. Okay? It's okay for you to be like, "Oh, listen, I have to run. I have a presentation I have to give, but let's talk about this later on." Just cut her off. Whatever. Make an excuse. And go away. Don't sit over there and just keep on talking. Even when she comes to your office, just make sure you politely, end the conversation and move on. Because if you are in corporate America, and most people know that perception is everything, perception is reality. Once you are pegged in corporate America as a particular thing, it'll follow you for the rest of your career. It'll follow you. Nobody ever changes the perception in corporate America. Nobody. They'll tell you you can, because that's a way for them to just really motivate you and try to inspire you and feed you all those false hope. They'll tell you, oh yeah, you can always change your perception. No, you're not. You're not going to change your perception. Okay? So make sure that you stay away from this type, because they will do nothing good for you. So that is it, everyone. So I hope that was beneficial to someone. Okay? Like this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know if these women work with you. If you work with any one of these personality types at your job, leave me a comment. I want to know. I want to hear from you. Okay? Because I know you have. I know you have. I've been in this 20 years. Okay? I'm no longer in corporate America, thank God. But I was in it 20 years. And I've met these type of women over and over again. So I know you have. So leave me a comment. Let me know which type of those personality types are at your job. Also, don't forget to like this video and also share the content, as well as subscribe to the channel, because every week I will always leave or bring out videos like this. These videos are intended to help those of you who wish to still stay in corporate America and help you navigate and avoid those pitfalls in corporate America. So leave me a comment, like the video, share the video, also subscribe, hit the notification bell. And until then, I'll see you next time. Peace.